Chapter 3. Chapter 3. Chapter 3. The Simple SB77 Framework. In the next section of this book, I'll deep I'll dive I'll dive deep into the elements of the SB7 framework, showing you how each important category of messaging makes your brand inviting to customers. For now, though, let's fly over the framework so you can understand in summary form all that you can do to simplify your marketing and messaging. The Story Brand Framework 1. A character. Story Brand Principle 1. The customer is the hero, not your brand. A major a major paradigm a major paradigm shift in the SB7 framework is that the customer is the hero of the story, not your brand. When we position our customer as the hero and ourselves as the guide, we will be recognized as trusted resource to help them overcome their challenges. Positioning the customer as a hero in the story is more than just good manners, it's also good business. Communication expert Nancy Duarte has done extensive research on how to create powerful presentations. The strategy she recommends to her clients is simple. When giving a speech, when giving a speech, position yourself as Yoda and your audience as Luke Skywalker. It's a small but powerful shift that honors the journey of the audience and positions us as a leader providing wisdom, products, and services our audience needs in order to thrive. Once we identify who our customers is, we have to ask ourselves what they want as it relates to our brand. The catalyst for any story is that the hero wants something. The rest of the story is a journey about discovering whether the hero will get what they want. Unless we identify something our customer wants, they will never feel invited into the story we are telling. As we explore the first element of the story brand framework, I'll show you why and how to invite customers into a story that makes them want to pay attention to your brand. 2. Has a problem. Story brand principle 2. Companies tend to sell solutions to external problems, but customers buy solutions to internal problems. In its purest form, a story starts with a character who lives in peace and stability. Suddenly, the stability is disrupted, a bomb goes off, someone is kidnapped, or a disaster strikes. The hero then sets out on a journey to return to the peaceful life they once enjoyed. Customers are attracted to us for the same reason heroes are pulled into stories. They want to solve a problem that has, in big or small ways, disrupted their peaceful life. If we sell lawn care products, they're coming to us because they're embarrassed about their lawn or they simply don't have time to do the work. If we sell financial advice, they're coming to us because they're worried about their retirement plan. It may not be as dramatic or sexy as James Bond going to Q to grab the latest high-tech spy weapons, but the premise is the same. Our customers are in trouble and they need help. By talking about the problems our customers face, we deepen their interest in everything we offer. What most brands miss, however, is that there are three levels of problems a customer encounters. In stories, heroes encounter external, internal, and philosophical problems. Why? Because these are the same three levels of problems human beings face in their everyday lives. Almost all companies try to sell solutions to external problems, but as we unfold the story brand framework, you'll see why customers are much more motivated to resolve their inner frustrations. In the second part of the story brand framework, we'll look we'll well look well looked at the st- well looked at the three levels of problems our customers experience and create messages offering to resolve those problems. Understanding and addressing the three levels of problems our customers face will help us create a brand promise that will connect the customers on a primitive level and at their deepest point of need. This in turn will help us endear customers and create passionate brand evangelists. 3. And meets a guide. Story brand principle 3. Customers aren't looking for another hero, they're looking for a guide. If heroes in a story could solve their own problems, they would never get into trouble in the first place. That's why storytellers through the centuries have created another character to help the hero win. Depending on the scholar you talk to, there are many names for this character, but the term to use at Storybrand is the guide. In Tom Hooper's Academy Award winning film The King's Speech, King George VI, King George VI struggles to overcome a stutter. As Britain prepares for war against Germany, the Brits look to their leader for confidence and direction. Desperate King George VI solicits the help of Lionel Logue, a dramatist turned speech therapist who gives him a plan, coaches him to competency, and helps him transform into a powerful orator. This is the same service Obi-Wan and Yoda offers Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, Hamish offers Katniss in Hunger Games, and to some degree, Bing Bong offers joy in Pixar's Inside Out. It's no accident that guides show up in almost every movie. Nearly every nearly every human being is looking for a guide or guides to help them win a day. Brands that position themselves as heroes unknowingly compete with their potential customers. Every human being wakes up each morning and sees the world through the lens of a protagonist. The world revolves around us, regardless of how altruistic, generous, and selfless a person we may be. Each day is, quite literally, about how we encounter our world. Potential customers feel the same way about themselves. They are the center of their world. When a brand comes along and positions itself as the hero, customers remain distant. They hear us talking about how great our business is and start wondering if we're competing with them or scarce resources. Their subconscious thought pattern goes like this: oh, this is another hero, like me. I wish I had more time to hear their story, but right now I'm busy looking for a guide. In the third part of the story brand framework, we'll look at two we'll look at two mental we'll look at two mental triggers. We'll look at two mental triggers that will help customers recognize us as the guide they've been looking for. 4. Who gives them a plan? Storybrand Principle 4. Customers trust a guide who has a plan. At this point, we've identified the customer's wants, defined three levels of problems they're encountering, and positioned ourselves as their guide. And our customers love us for the effort, but they still aren't going to make a purchase. Why? Because we haven't laid out a simple plan of action they can take. Making a purchase is a huge step, especially if the problems or services are expensive. What customers are looking for, then, is a clear path we've laid out that takes away any confusion they might have about to do business with us. The storybrand tool we will use to create this path is called the plan. In almost every story, the guide gives the hero a plan, or a bit of information, or a few steps they can use to get the job done. In the Star Wars movie, Yoda tells Luke to trust the Force and then trains Luke on how to wield his power. People are looking for philosophy they can embody or a series of steps they can take to solve their problems. In the fourth path of the story brand framework, we'll look, we'll look at two kinds of plans, the agreement plan and the process plan. Each of these plans will earn trust and offer our customers a clear path to stability, greatly increasing the chance they will make a purchase. 5. And calls them to action. Storybrand Principle 5. Customers do not take action unless they are challenged to take action. In stories, characters don't take action on their own. In stories, characters don't take action on their own. They must be challenged. If we're telling a story about a man who needs to lose 30 pounds and suddenly decides to do it of his own volition, the audience will check out. Why? Because that's not how life works. There needs to be a reason. Our character has to run into high school sweetheart who is now a yoga instructor, or he needs to lose a bet, forcing him to run a marathon. Characters only take action after they are challenged by an outside force. This principle is true in story because it's true in life. Human beings take action when their story challenges them to do so. You would be surprised so many companies don't create obvious calls to action for their customers. A call to action involves communicating a clear, direct step our customers can take to overcome this challenge and return to a peaceful life. Without clear calls to action, people will not engage our brand. In the fifth part of the story brand framework, I'll show you two calls to action that have worked for thousands of our clients. One call to action is direct, asking the customers for a purchase or to schedule an appointment. The other is a transitional call to action, furthering our relationship with the customer. Once we begin using both kinds of calls to action in our messaging, customers will understand exactly what we want them to do and decide whether to let us play a role in their story. Until we call our customers to action, they simply watch us, or when we call them to action right away, they will engage. 6. That helps them avoid failure. Storybrand Principle 6. Every human being is trying to avoid a tragic ending. Stories live and die on a single question. What's at stake? If nothing can be gained or lost, nobody cares. Will the hero disarm the bomb? Or will people be killed? Will the guy get the girl? Or will he be lonely and filled with self-doubt? These are the kinds of questions in the minds of a story-hungry audience. If there is nothing at stake in a story, there is no story. Likewise, if there's nothing at stake in whether or not I buy your product, I'm not going to buy your product after all. Why should I? After all, why should I? Simply put, we must show people the cost of not doing business with us. In the 80s, the fast food chain Wendy's effectively asked America, "Where's the beef?" The implication was their competitors weren't using enough meat. So what's at stake for choosing another brand over Wendy's? We might get stuck with a wimpy sandwich. Likewise, Whole Foods has built an enormous industry helping customers avoid the consequences of overly processed foods, and more recently, Trader Joe's has come along to help customers avoid the consequences of Whole Foods prices. Brands that help customers avoid some kind of negativity in life and that their customers know that what negativity is Engage customers for the same reason good stories captivate an audience they define was at stake.